All right, Trinity, let's take a look at your swimming here. So the first thing I'm noticing is you got pretty good position on streamline with those hands, but you got to get that chin a little bit lower towards your chest to get those arms to be able to squeeze just a little bit behind your ears. That's going to be really important, especially on strokes with like butterfly, where you want to be able to carry your speed off the wall into your first stroke to make that first stroke a little bit easier. The second thing I'm noticing about butterfly is that your second kick isn't quite as strong as it could be. Now I can see your first kick nice and clear, and that's really important. That first kick really helps drive your body forward, keeps your hips nice and high at the beginning of your stroke, but it's that second kick that's going to allow you to keep your hips nice and high to be able to get your arms out of the water for the second part of your stroke, so the recovery portion of the arm stroke. So really focus on having a nice, strong, driving second kick on your butterfly stroke so that it's easier to get your arms out of the water for the recovery portion of the butterfly stroke. The other thing to notice is to make sure that you keep your fingertips nice and close together so that your hands form a nice flat paddle, and then also make sure that you're slicing your hands out of the water pinkies first. You're kind of rotating your arms and having your hands come out of the water thumbs first. You want to continue pushing that water, pushing that water, pushing the water, and then slicing your hands out of the water nice and quickly, pinky fingers first. All right, that is also going to help you get your arms out of the water for that butterfly recovery. All right, for backstroke, the thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot of a bounce going on here. So you can see your head going up and down as you swim, and that's making it really hard for you to continue with a nice, strong, and constant 6-beat kick because you're using your legs to kind of counteract that bounce. Now, one of the things that you can work on for this is your rotation. Okay, so all that energy that's being used right now is being converted into a bounce because your arm is swinging over the surface of the water and then landing in the water, and that energy has to go somewhere, and right now it's going into a bounce. You can allow that energy to go down into a rotation. So allow that shoulder to kind of rotate down towards the bottom of the pool, and that'll hopefully allow you to rotate that bounce instead of bouncing. Okay. Now once you're able to rotate, you really want to focus on having a nice, strong, and steady kick going for backstroke, nice, strong, and constant kick going. For backstroke, you need to rotate more than you do on freestyle, and the only way to keep yourself anchored is to have a nice, constant kick going the entire time. So those two things, rotation, once you get the rotation, work on that kick. All right, now looking at breaststroke, looks like you got a pretty powerful kick going, which is good. You can just work on making sure that you finish out that kick, really pushing that water together with the inside bottom of your feet, but you're already doing a really nice job with it. I like the glide out in front of your stroke, that's great too. The only thing you can work on is making sure that there is like no pause in between the arm pull and the arm recovery. All right, so I'm going to tell you what that means right here. As soon as you get to the surface, nice underwater pull up, by the way. So glide here, there's a little bit of a hesitation there. Do you see that? Right there. It's not much, but it's enough to kind of throw out the stroke a little bit. So there's two things you can do. First, really accentuate the glide out front, and then commit to keeping your arms in motion constantly for all other parts of your stroke. So glide, and then move, 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 move. All right, the second thing is you can shorten up that arm stroke a little bit. Notice how you're pulling almost totally to your chest. You can stop your arm pull about 2 to 3 inches sooner. Now having a little bit shorter of an arm pull is going to make it so that you can make that transition a little bit earlier, and it'll make it a little bit less easy for you to take that pause. All right, taking a look at freestyle here. Kind of a similar thing on that we talked about or we looked at on your backstroke. There's a little bit of a bounce, but you're doing a much better job translating that into a rotation or a side-to-side movement with your shoulders, which is great. The thing I'm going to talk about for freestyle is mostly your breathing. Now I know that if you've got a lot of people in your lane, for practice, it's going to be difficult to get enough air, enough clean air. There's a lot of waves around you, but something to focus on for freestyle is making sure that you keep one goggle in the pool when you're breathing. So the lower goggle stays in the pool and just a little bit of your mouth gets out of the water. And that's important because taking a really high breath on freestyle does the same kind of thing as it does on butterfly. It forces your hips really low, and it makes it so that you really have to counterbalance with your legs like you're doing right now in order to get back over. So smaller breath, nice, strong, steady kick again to work on that breath, but otherwise nice swimming.